Someone to kiss. Ano ka sa mga Oh! Some things to look forward to when you're in the hospital. Needles. Someone always coming to take your temperature and your pressure. No sleep. I'm lying, I slept. Definitely not the accessories I was hoping for. But it's 2020. They gave me some morphine, and I am higher than a drop size. Stephanie, you have breast cancer. Huh? When she said it kind of wasn't registering. Huh? We are gonna have you see our surgical oncologist. Huh? We need to start moving forward. Huh? I was just like, yo, this is so crazy. Huh? Are you sure? Doc, we need to do those tests again. I remember sitting across from the doctor. She just confirmed that I had breast cancer and that I had it in both of my breasts. I had invasive ductal carcinoma. I don't want to hear stage 2 or more. I don't want to hear 2, 3. If we're at 1, we're staying at 1, guys. All right? You got it? I needed to have a bilateral mastectomy, which is both gotta go. It was the worst news that I could hear. So I remember sitting there while she was talking to me, and it was like everything she was saying, I was hearing like this. You're not saying nothing I want to hear right now, Doc. I had fish bowls over my ears. When she told me that I had to have a double mastectomy, I screamed out loud. I was like, oh my God. And I was just hysterical crying. What's so crazy to me is that had my friend not mentioned anything to me about breast implant illness, who knows when I would have found out and how far along I would have been. As soon as I walked into the surgeon's office, he's basically giving me my options. Either get implants again or have a flat closure. And I wasn't gonna have any areolas, I wasn't gonna have any nipples, and it was just going to be a flat closure. That's it. And I was like, this is crazy. How did we get here? How did we get here? Where's Ashton? Bro, you can come out now. So I told him, I said, listen, I'm not getting implants. My implants have been making me sick. I believe my implants gave me cancer. He looked at me, he said, no. I said, absolutely not. Your implants are safe. They didn't make you sick. They have to remove all the breast tissue. My implants shave off some of the muscle. Once we close it up and you heal, if you don't decide to do the expanders at the time of your surgery, it's a done deal. And that's basically what he was telling me. And I was like, no, I am not putting in silicone expanders. They're silicone. Silicone has been making me sick. What they do is they put it in and then you go back like weekly and then they fill it up a little bit to keep stretching the skin in the event that I decided that down the line I wanted to do implants. I knew the answer to that. I knew that under no circumstances was I putting breast implants back into my body. And that was my final answer. He was sitting there really trying to convince me after I'm telling him that I will just do the flat closure, obviously, if those are my only 2 options. And I was ready to stand on that. And I was devastated. He's telling me, well, you should really get the implants. And then he tells me, what are you going to do? You're not married. You don't have a husband. You're going to be 40. Is he serious right now? Everything is happening so fast. I just found out that I have breast cancer. So I was just so beside myself. What I did know at that moment was I did not want him to be my surgeon. I remember the hallway just getting longer and longer as I'm walking to my car and I'm crying. Here I am in this situation because I was not comfortable in my own skin. I was not comfortable with my breasts and the way that I thought that they looked. So I convinced myself that I needed to have breast implants to look better, to look sexy. Fast forward all these years later, I'm sitting in a doctor's office and they're telling me that now, not only do they have to take the breast back, but we also got to take away what you had to begin with. I'm about to just have a straight line across my chest. Wow. And that was a tough pill to swallow, knowing I did this to myself. This was so unnecessary. I did not need to do this, but I did. Damn stuff. So when you hear that you have something in your body that has taken millions of people's lives, you're scared because you don't know what's going to happen. I didn't know what was going on. I just knew that I was sick. Sometimes you ask for something that you don't want. And that's where I was at that moment. I had answers now. Unfortunately, it wasn't the answers that I wanted.
And it definitely wasn't the answers that I expected. So they wanted to get me into surgery on October 8th, the entire week after, and little bit of the week after that. I was numb. I still could not believe this, all of this, any of this. I could not believe it. I still hadn't processed everything. My head was spinning like I just wanted some silver dollars and some beef. I was facing some really tough days ahead. I was smoking, I was drinking, I was self-medicating. That was not the smartest thing to do. When you have something in your body that is growing every single day and you don't even know how fast, every day matters. But I wasn't trying to hear any of that. I just wanted to just not feel anything. And to be quite honest, none of it made me feel better. I remember one day I was sitting in my living room and my friend came over and he's like, what are you gonna do? Your surgery date is approaching. It's like less than a week away. What are you trying to do? And at that moment, I didn't have an answer. Like, I was like, good question. So I just remember sitting there and I was looking at him and then I was looking down at the floor and I just heard like this voice in my ear. It was like, you know what to do. It was loud and clear. And at that very moment when I heard that in my ear, I just felt like this sense of calmness. I didn't feel the anxiety that I was feeling. I didn't have that sadness weighing me down. That feeling immediately transformed into this feeling of hope. It's go time. It's time to fight. I'm always talking about health and wellness. It's time for me now to practice what I preach. The most important question that I researched was, what feeds cancer? What can I eat? What shouldn't I eat? And I just kept researching. Then I started buying books. The information that you need is in the books that a lot of y'all don't want to read. That's just the sad truth. I was on a mission. I started watching everything Dr. Sebi, Dr. Morse's videos, Dr. Barbara O'Neill's videos, Yaki Awaken videos, or whoever was talking about whatever. I wanted to hear what they had to say. I needed to acquire as much information as possible because I knew that in order for me to have a fighting chance, I needed to know what I was doing. I remember speaking to the doctor and they called me and I told them that I was not going to be going through with my surgery. And immediately they were like, listen, this is a bad idea. People have lost their lives. The cancer metastasized, on and on and on. And I understood the danger of what I was facing. I said, listen, it's my life and I am fully prepared to deal with whatever happens after the fact. I'm going to approach it my way. And if it doesn't work my way, then I will do it your way. But I have to do it my way first. And that's what I decided to do. And I'm really glad that I did that. You hear my dog snoring? I had a conversation with another friend of mine. She actually recommended a surgical oncologist that a friend of hers had went to and had a great experience with. So I went ahead and made the appointment for the consultation and went to go see her. Ironically, I ended up going for my consultation on October 8th. Which was the original surgery date. The minute that she walked into the room, I had like a completely different feeling. She was just way more understanding and compassionate, and she was nice, and the energy was just really warm, and I felt like I could trust her, and I didn't feel that way with the other doctors. She just kind of just answered my questions and told me what they were going to do. She was going to send me to go and have a consultation with another surgeon, and he was going to do the reconstructive part of my surgery. Here was something that really stuck out to me. I told her that my breast implants were making me sick, and I believed that they were the reason why I had breast cancer. And she said, you know, I don't know enough about it. I am just learning about it. I'm just starting to hear about it. There have been more and more cases of women saying that their breast implants have been making them sick. But because I don't know too much about it, what I will say is that it's possible. And just by her saying that, I was just like, thank you. Thank you for not completely dismissing what I'm telling you and just listening to me, you know? And that was just really important. And at that moment, I decided this is going to be my doctor. I went to go see the reconstructive surgeon, and he was also really nice. And I explained to him that I was not going to be getting breast implants. And I was pretty much prepared based on what the other doctors had told me. Thankfully, he gave me two other options. A lat flap, where they take a piece of your lats and then they bring it to your breast, and that would be the base. And then I can do a fat transfer and a series of reconstructive surgeries to kind of like reconstruct and build my breasts. It was either that or take the muscle underneath my belly button. I didn't have any fat there, so he was like, you would be more of a candidate to do the lat flap surgery. So that's what I did. I literally accepted that I was going to have a flat closure, and it was what it was. Now I'm at another doctor. They're speaking to me completely different. They're listening to my concerns. They're understanding what I'm going through and that I am in an extremely difficult, scary stage in my life. And they see this all the time. I was just really thankful that now I have other options, which was great under the circumstances. I mean, at this point, if I could get a little good news, I would take a little good news. I don't discriminate on good news. They scheduled me for my surgery for November 11th, 2021. The whole 11/11/21 thing, I was just like, wow, it's kind of like a sign or whatever. Like maybe this is good luck. Whatever was going to make me feel better, I was with it. I was looking for anything. Like I just remember sitting there thinking, y'all are about to take my breasts. Not only are you going to take my breasts, but now you're telling me that you also may want to take my hair. And I got so angry because I was like, no, you can't take my breasts and my hair. It's not going to happen. And that's what I knew. Like, that was my why. I was like, no. You're going to take out the implants. You're going to take out my breasts. I'm not going through chemo and radiation. I'm not taking a pill for 5 years. I don't even know what's in the pill. I don't want it. So I had a few weeks. I had a little less than a month. So within this time, I got real serious, and I buckled down, and it was just no more playing around. When it was time to lock in, I locked in. When you're doing something or you're on a diet or some type of a regimen where you are eating for a specific reason, it gets tough. It gets tough. And it's not fun, and it doesn't taste good. But you have to choose. It's either you're going to do it this way or you're not. Basically, I knew at this point it was go time. See me in a fight with a bear, pray for the bear. Hopefully the bear ain't that big though.